Jen here, and I'm starting a new series on my channel called Flip Through and Finish It. I have a bunch of projects that have kind of been stuck in limbo. I started them and then for whatever reason I've moved on to something else, and they're kind of in, you know, half completed stages. So I thought it might be fun to actually flip through some of these old albums and mini albums and traveler's notebooks and stuff like that, and then mark off all the spots where it's not done, because a lot of times it might be, you know, a middle page that's missing, or maybe I was just waiting for a picture that I didn't have and so I've left a blank spot and moved on to the next thing, or it could just be that I started and I'm halfway through and I didn't finish all the way to the end. Whatever it might be, I thought it might be kind of fun to just see how far I got, mark off where I didn't go, take the month to really work on that, and then come back and show you the finished project. So I'm probably not going to film the actual, like an actual process video of finishing it, unless you guys really want that and ask for it. Then I could probably figure it out and make it work. But I think it's gonna, for a lot of things, it might just be a case of me showing you where I got to and then working on it every night a little bit or whatever it might be, and then coming back and showing you the completed project. For now, I thought I would start with my 2014 Project Life album because it's the end of January, and I don't want to take each project past the month. So I want to spend the month working on it as much as I can. If I don't finish it, that's fine. I will put it back and just leave a mark on the cover somewhere with everything that I didn't finish, and we'll get it done eventually. But I just want to kind of focus on one project per month. If it's a really short project, maybe I'll add a second one, but I don't want to carry any one project past that month. So for January, I pulled out my 2014 album because I know I'm mostly done. I might only have maybe a month or two in the back. And I did do this one by month, not by week. I very quickly into my Project Life journey realized that that was a better setup for me personally, because I had some weeks where we did nothing, and then I had other weeks, or even just one day in a week, where I had 500 pictures and I wanted to try to cram them all in here. So the monthly spreads worked better for me. Most months have about 4 like double page layouts, but some might only have 2, some might have 6, and I just really liked the way that that worked. In 2014, I also was not combining my 12 by 12 layouts with my pocket pages. So this album is just the pocket pages, and then I have another album that is all my 12 by 12 layouts. So at the end of this video, if it's not too long, I'll throw that album in here too, so you can see kind of what I got done over that whole year. I think that's it. If I've left anything out and you're asking questions and you're yelling them at your screen, just leave them down below and I will make sure to answer them for you. Okay, so here's my title page. I usually do a title page at the beginning of my Project Life, and I always put somewhere, but I don't know if I did here, what my word for the year is. My word might have been goals or dream, something like that. Anyways, I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and take a look at that, because I clearly didn't put it on this one, but I normally do. And I usually don't have a picture on my title page. I usually take the time to find cards that I just like their sayings, or they're really pretty, or whatever it might be, and I throw all of those onto the cover. This time I put a bucket list with very generic goals for the year, but that's okay. Okay, so hopefully I can make this fit nicely into the screen so you can see, at least mostly see, the 2 pages. So I tried, when I do monthly, I always try to have the month there, so at least you can know as you're flipping through where the months transition. Hi, Storm Baby. So we started off our month. We were in Ottawa visiting my grandma. Flew back home. Oh yeah, here. This was back when I was using a lot of the borders on Instagram. Remember those? You had your filter and then you changed the border. So, and I was pretty good at doing journaling on all of my photos. You'll notice that changes as the years progress. One thing too that I remember, I became very good at not worrying about being super matchy-matchy. So there are layouts where I've used all one collection, or there's something that makes it all just really tie in and match. But for the most part, I picked a card that I thought worked. I tried to basically match the colors. So my daughter has a rainbow coat. So my daughter has a rainbow coat, so I tried to use rainbow colors, but they're not all from the same tones. And you know, if there was, say, green here, then I brought in green here, then I brought in green here, there's green here. So I tried to connect things, but I wasn't super concerned with everything matching perfectly. It just makes it so much easier for me to get these pages done when I'm not fussing over all of those little details. And that's not to say I don't enjoy the little details, it's just that I had to find that right balance of getting everything done and also being happy with it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm still good. This is all still January. Lots of food, lots of pictures of my nieces and nephews because they are super adorable. But here you can see, for example, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures of my little Lila here. And if I was doing weekly, I mean, these fit into 2 cards, but weekly I might not have been able to fit it all in. But monthly I can spread out as much as or as little as I want. Our Titus. Here's another example of that. So both of these pages actually are just from one event. So a couple of hours of time. But it was just such a fun event. My daughter went to a birthday party that was a big splatter party at an art studio and just got filthy. Like, look at her shoes. I don't know if you can see that. We knew ahead of time we were going to get dirty, so she wore clothes that could get dirty. But they splatter on this giant canvas that the studio will then stretch and put onto a frame for the birthday girl, and then all of the birthday participants get their own little canvas that are hung up. I don't know if you can see here. They're all hung up on the wall, and then they get to use water balloons filled with paint and syringes and paintbrushes and all kinds of stuff to splatter. So super fun. Loved all of the colors, and so I made the whole 2 pages all about that one event. So now we're into February. You can see I put February up here. Lots of hearts and stuff going on. So there's a little bit of a theme to it, but very much not matching. Like this I can tell is from Simple Stories, and it's not anywhere near the same as a lot of these other cards. This is still when they were doing a lot of really dark vintagey stuff, but it had the heart, so I threw it in there. My nephew was born in February. I used a lot of, I used a lot of letter stickers in my, yeah, cool. These are wood veneers, letters, so I used a lot of that in my layouts. Lots of wood veneer, actually. This is March. Oh, look at that. This is the selfie I use as my profile picture on YouTube and Instagram, I think. Yeah, I didn't remember that it was that old. Maybe it's time for an updated one. I don't know. More about the baby. Lots of cakes. I used to make cakes professionally, so there's a lot of those in there. Lots of food. Obviously, we're foodies, and my husband is a chef, so... oh, and one thing you might notice is that at the beginning of this year, there's no boys. We didn't have the boys yet. We hadn't adopted them, so it's all about Kaylin, which is why there's a whole big spread here with her name. Her birthday is in March, so this was kind of dedicated to Kaylin, I guess. Lots of splatters, still going strong with the gold there. Dance. I colored these, it looks like. That was a 9, yeah. I think that I am missing, let's see here. Oh, we're off to learn about our boys. So that must be when we had our matching info share. That was the day we went to learn about our boys. And then here I feel like I haven't put down that this is April. So I think it's supposed to go here. So I'm gonna have to make a note that I need to put April in there. And then here it says our new journey begins because we said yes to being matched with the boys. And then that brought on a whole new roller coaster of craziness because this is April and we didn't actually get them until July. So crazy, crazy story. But yeah, so I'll have to put April there. Kaylin was in the midst of dance competition season. Here's the day we told her. So again, this took up a whole, oh, I put April here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I took a whole page here to document the fact that we took Kaylin out for brunch. We just said it was a family brunch. We had my brother and his kids and my parents, and we were at Sean's restaurant, my husband's restaurant. So surrounded by staff and friends who knew what was going on. And we told Kaylin that she was going to be a big sister. So a very sweet moment. I'm actually tearing up right now just watching or just thinking about it. Because we're going through the adoption process again. So this is bringing back some nice memories. Yeah. Okay. Then moving on, it's still April. We always go to Lake Louise in April for dance competition. So that is also documented as one whole page. Oh yeah, they got a standing ovation. Kaylin got a standing ovation from the judges, and then of course everyone else because they did such an amazing job. Okay, here it looks like we're moving into Easter. It's weird going through this and not seeing the boys. I personally, my kids look through this all the time, but I personally haven't looked through this in a while. Easter, and then, okay, so this is May, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, I lost all my photos in May, so maybe what my plan will have to be for the rest of this month is to figure out how I can document things that happened in May 2014 without necessarily having pictures. I have a few of them. We got a fish for our kitten because she was driving everyone crazy, and she loved that fish. And then I think I probably took this photo of my parents off of Facebook somewhere. And I know I took this, I was at a crop that weekend, or a weekend, and I probably took that off of the internet, off of Facebook. This was off of Facebook. This was off of Facebook. Her big trophy. So yeah, so that is going to have to be one challenge, is trying to figure out how I can fill in some of these gaps. Because you can see I went ahead and put cards in all of the pages just so I could kind of mark pages for this month. But I'll have to figure out how to get some pictures in there. Okay, so that's task number 1. Then we move into June. And June looks like it's mostly done. You can see though, as I'm moving along, I'm losing some of my stamina. So I'm not making little labels and stuff to journal. I'm still journaling, but I'm just journaling right on the cards now. There's less embellishing. That's okay though. I kind of like the clean and simple look too. There's less alphas, definitely. And I look like I'm just outlining stuff a lot more. Okay, this is the end of June. So I do have a full album. That will also be one of my flip throughs, I think. I have a full album from Disney, but I also have this 2-page spread. I wanted it in my project life because we were there on July 1st, so it kind of starts July. So this one I went a little bit more heavy-handed just because it was probably new and fun, and I was working on the album and this simultaneously. But there's a piece done, so I'm gonna, or a piece not done, so I'm gonna have to figure that out too. And then this is July. We brought the boys home, or this is actually meeting them for the first time. And then Kaylin meeting them for the first time. This was a couple days apart. And then bringing them home. This was the very first time that they were in our house for good, for real. So lots of the boys, they were so stinking adorable. They were 2 and 3 at this point. They had a birthday in between us saying yes and actually bringing them home. So lots of boys, lots of going out and doing stuff because of course they were new and we wanted to just do everything. All of this, I think there are process videos for it, but their faces would have been covered in all of those process videos. So done all the summer stuff. That doesn't surprise me. I loved using sequins. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. August here obviously went with that kind of whole blue theme. Again, you can see though, like this card doesn't match this card. They're 2 very different styles, but I'm totally okay with that. I went with blue, and so this is blue. It literally says blue on it. It has the shorts on it. It matches the water. So for me, that was good enough. Here you can see I'm obviously running out of letters in different colors, so I'm mixing matching colors. I'm totally fine with that. I probably found this card because it matched the sunsets, and then I was like, okay, I need something to balance it, so I probably threw these in. And again, for me, that was kind of good enough because I like to look at it as the full 2 pages. So we're still working on summer. That card doesn't look quite done. Oh, but it's stuck down there, so I'm gonna say it's okay. Still working on summer. And then now we're into September. Did I write September? Oh yes, here. Hello, September. And there's a lot of white space here, but I think it's all done. I think it's as good as I'm gonna get. I might need some journaling. Maybe I'll do a little bit of journaling up here just to explain that we had a crazy, really early September snowstorm. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And then back to beautiful. See, look at that. Within a week, they're back to their shorts and t-shirts and stuff. Gotta love living in the foothills. Oh, I need to journal about this, I think. So I'm missing the journaling on this, but I have everything else. Here is our photo shoot. I don't really need to journal about any of that or add anything to it. A few of my albums, I have this where we've done a photo shoot and I just stick the photos in and call it good. And then we're into October, and again, you can see I've got all my pictures in place, but there's no embellishments on this at all. Everything's flat, and there's no journaling. This one, obviously, this is a photo shoot I actually shot. So I was probably just really proud of myself because I love how all these pictures turned out. So I went ahead and finished this layout or this spread. So there's embellishments all over and journaling. And then definitely none here. These pictures aren't even glued down, but at least there's a card there and they're in their spot. So it looks like everything here has cards. Oh, except here doesn't really. Maybe, let me see. Oh, no, I was gonna say maybe there's a card in behind here and I was planning on doing some sort of double thing, but that doesn't, that's missing something. It's missing all its journaling. Here is November. It's missing all its journaling. These photos aren't even taped down. These ones look like they are. Yeah. November is adoption month, so there's a lot about adoption because obviously it was still very new to us at that point. There's little Fox in his first ballet class. Oh my goodness. So cute. Okay. Oh, and here too, he was the only boy and he just, all he wanted to do was hold his teacher's hand. And I mean, why wouldn't he? Because she was this gorgeous, tall, blonde, beautiful lady, but he loved her. Actually, young girl. She was still quite young here. That's all he wanted to do in class. So let's see. Still, everything's got cards. Everything is in its place. Look at this one. I've even like cut them out and put them into the frames properly, but no embellishing and no journaling. Same here. This and this are missing cards, but everything is put down. All the way through, it looks like till Christmas, I've put all my cards in. And I do often do that. When I'm printing out batches of pictures, it's really easy at night, I find. You just throw on the TV, the kids have gone to bed, it's dark, and, you know, hubby might be watching TV with me, or he's playing video games or whatever, and I can just sit and cut out pictures and put cards and stuff in and not have to worry about adhesive or gluing things down or, you know, getting out all the little finicky stuff. So a lot of times you'll see in my albums that I've gotten to this stage and then kind of fizzled out from there. So this is December now. It doesn't look, oh, is it December? Yeah. But I don't seem to have, oh, I do here, 25 days of December. So obviously that is there. And I've gotten all the way through Christmas and the last week of December. Oh my goodness, look at how long my hair was back then. It was past my butt. And then Christmas cards from that year. So, oh, on both sides. Okay. So that is my 2014 album, and it looks like I have 80% of it done. I've got to get those last few months done and just a few little pieces here and there to kind of have it totally completed and call it good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work on that this week, and I am hopefully going to have my all done, completed flip through for you in the first week of February, and then I'll move on to my next project. So if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them for me in the comments down below, and I'd love to hear your opinions on what you think about a series like this. Do you think this is something that would help you to get projects done? Are you someone who starts a project and works on it until it's done, or are you like me and have a bit of adult ADHD where you kind of move on to the next thing without quite finishing what you started? Let me know, because I'd be curious. And if you think that this is a good idea, I'd also love to know if you guys are going to be joining in and trying to finish up some of your own projects, or if you have some tips and suggestions for people on how they can stay motivated to finish their projects. Let me know all about it, and I really appreciate you watching. Until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.